Ashti, do you have a dupatta?
Is this right? Thank you.
Dupatta. Who are the people with dupattas?
Is that right?
Asha, dupatta. Sa, ni, da, pa, ga, pa, da, ni. Two in the same direction. Okay? Sa, shift away. Da, pa, ga, pa, da, ni, da, ni, da, pa, da, ga. Sa. I was born in Britain in 1955 because my father was here doing a master's in electronics engineering. But my parents, because my father was in the Indian Army, they took me away to India. And I was raised there till the age of 28. And I came out for the first time to the UK on a British Council Fellowship. You hear the beat, right? Take the whole time for this to reach there. In the beginning, I started with a dance style that was from a guru who was from the traditional family of Nattuvanas. And I did my Arangetram graduation performance in that style. And I, at different points of time, studied with either the brothers or the disciples of Guru, the late Dandayadapani Pillai, who was a major influence, Vajantamala and Sri Vidya. These were some of his grand disciples. 2. Subsequently, when I was 18, I saw Professor Chandrasekhar of the Kalakshetra tradition, and at that point felt I shouldn't be dancing at all, I should give it up, look at the purity of movement, and then I decided to move to the Kalakshetra style. I think the very serious student at some point goes through the Guru Shishya experience. But again, the Guru Shishya thing of spending 24 hours with your teacher, that sort of a thing is not available in urban lifestyles. The present-day student gets their training from many different places. But even in the Indian context, you have one of the old Subhashitas in Sanskritam, which says, a quarter of your learning is from your teacher, a quarter of your learning is from your peers, a quarter of your learning is from your own personal endeavor, and a quarter of your learning is over time, gestation. Now that concept is true. My interest in Croydon actually started then because I was commissioned to look at the dance provision. And there were individual teachers in Thornton Heath. Sunita Golwala was there. There was a dancer called Sita Kumari who was doing a lot of educational work being based in Norwood. And Stanley Halls had Keith Lansing as an administrator, and he was very interested in the Indian subcontinent performance work. So our academy project, the first dance drama that the academy did in 1985, Adventures of Mowgli, the rehearsal period, all of that happened at Stanley Halls. So the first major performance project that I was involved with was actually launched from Croydon. Sa, ni, da, pa, ga, pa, da, ni, and up. Sa, ni, da, pa, da. 1, 2, 3, and sa, ni, da, pa, ga, pa, da, ni, da. Stop for a second. Stop in position, please. Start again and stop in position. 1, 2, 3, and sa. One of the things I do say that I've found in Britain is when they decide to commit themselves, and this is probably true in Europe too, once they make a commitment to learning something, what a pupil gives and takes is 100%. In India, you can have a situation where everybody is good up to a 60% point, no difficulty. But to move beyond that to the top, to take ownership of the art form and to relate, that kind of passion is probably harder to find because many children just get exposed to it anyway. With dance, we've established the Imperial Society for Teachers of Dance, setting up the ISTD exams. And it will be great when Trinity comes up with the same kind of exams that a student can take on a casual basis for music as they do for Western forms. So with that, the awareness will definitely improve. Sita Kalyana Vaibhogami. A lot of it also rests in the hands of the funders, because if the funders keep investing money in projects so that new things or variation things or different things can be done all the time, then the different art forms are going to get a bit watered down or adulterated or diluted or made into hybrids. So I think if the emphasis is on doing traditional work alongside with funding new things, then Britain has a chance of having some of the best world traditions in lots of different forms, because by and large the audiences here, like people go out to eat food from different parts of the world, there is a kind of commonwealth nature of being open to all cultures in this country, much more than any other country that I've traveled through. And some of it is also a legacy of the past, and to make the most of that, I would think that the tradition as well as contemporary developments in art forms need to be supported with the same energy.